So far, Amber Heard's witnesses have seemingly appeared untrustworthy during court trials, and fans are speculating that most of them are either lying or making up stories to accommodate Amber's false accusations against Johnny. But things looked a little brighter after Josh Drew's deposition was played, and people in the courtroom even shared how the judge was actually paying attention to one of Heard's witnesses, which is a rare sight to see.
Did you see Amber Heard been drinking before Mr. Depp arrived?
Yes.
Do you know how much?
Couldn't tell you.
Did she seem intoxicated at any time during the evening?
Yes.
However, it seems like video footage from the LAPD successfully demolished Amber's lies and even proved that her witnesses are lying about Johnny Depp being abusive during the May 21, 2016 incident, basically making Josh Drew a liar.
Has anybody seen any wine stains like we just saw in the picture? Keep looking. No wine stains. I don't see any. I see shadows.
So, did Josh Drew lie in his deposition? And what did the LAPD officer say for them to get busted? Let's go into the details and compare. A video footage from the LAPD is gaining attention after it successfully debunked Drew's deposition. May 21, 2016 is a pretty important date for the defamation case between ex-spouses Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. And a lot of witnesses already testified about what actually happened during that day. Amber brought in her friends to narrate their own side of the story, while the opposing team presented a deposition of LAPD officers who responded to the crime scene. The problem is that both sides had pretty different narrations of what happened.
Did he report to you in words or substance any vandalism?
No, not that I recall.
I took them through PH3, like I said, to show them the damage. I took them back out of the hallway, showed them the dent in the door shaped like the bottom of a wine bottle in PH1. Took them into PH5 to see broken picture frames, smashed glass.
And the judge is most likely having a hard time picking which story to believe. Even fans are getting confused. But it turns out one body cam footage was enough to debunk Amber's lies about what happened during that day.
Coffee's hot. Burning up. Word round to penthouse 3.
In his deposition, Josh Drew narrated how he was there when the LAPD officers arrived. Based on his words, Drew confirmed that he met with the officers and proceeded to walk them through penthouse 3 to penthouse 5 to show the damage Johnny made after having an episode.
Arrived, I greeted them at the door. I walked them through PH3 to show them the damage, show them the broken glass.
His narration is pretty detailed and clean. One would even say he did a pretty good job. But if we go back to what the officer said in his deposition, you would notice that it's the exact opposite of what Josh said. Officer Tyler Hayden described Josh as uncooperative.
Man who led you through the penthouses on the evening of May 21, 2016.
Yes.
Did you describe him as uncooperative?
Yes.
Let me ask another question. Was he cooperative with your inquiries that evening?
No.
He also revealed how Josh didn't show them anything when they arrived at the scene. This is only the first of the many lies, which was proven by the LAPD officer who testified via deposition. Moving forward, Drew also gave the court a very detailed description of what the penthouses looked like after the incident.
When they arrived, I greeted them at the door. I walked them through PH3 to show them the damage, show them the broken glass. They had already walked through the hallway over the gigantic wine stain throughout the entire hallway.
Take note, his words are that the officers who responded to Amber's call had to step over the gigantic wine stain in the carpets.
They had already walked through the hallway over the gigantic wine stain throughout the entire hallway. I took them through PH3, like I said, to show them the damage. I took them back out of the hallway, showed them the dent in the door shaped like the bottom of a wine bottle in PH1. Took them into PH5 to see broken picture frames, smashed glass, Raquel's jewelry and things like that strewn about the apartment.
Amber's team actually presented a photo of the alleged wine stain, but aside from being not as big as what Josh described it to be, many fans noticed that there was no wine stain whatsoever in the body cam footage, which was presented as evidence. This body cam footage was taken when the officers went to the penthouse the very same day, and if you look at it closely, no wine stain can be seen. One fan pointed out that there was a possibility that Amber and her friends spilled the wine themselves, saying, "A couple of weeks ago there was talk of their before and after pics. The wine stains came after the cops. I hope his team goes over this again, especially since he lied." While another fan wondered why there was no picture of the alleged wine on the wall, which was also talked about in the deposition. This fan said, and surprise, surprise, no pictures of the hole in the wall or the picture frames broken. Again, a staged scene but half-hearted, as she didn't want to damage her own home. The LAPD officers continued to prove Josh's deposition false after they shared that they didn't see anything in the penthouses that would have led them to believe that a crime was committed there.
Did you hear or see anything that made you think an act of domestic violence had occurred?
I did not.
And did you determine that she sustained any injuries?
Again, this is not what Josh said, because he narrated in the deposition that the penthouses were in disarray after Johnny allegedly hurt Amber. This fan commented about Josh's deposition, saying, "The main reason I think it was all staged is that everything that they claimed was damaged was only meaningful to them. If he was in a rage, then he would have destroyed everything instead of going through the house picking out certain objects. Notice how the pictures on the bed weren't broken either. They didn't really want to destroy their own belongings, and they didn't want to clean up the mess either." Josh also said through his deposition that he saw bruises on Amber's face when he first got there. Once again, the two sets of officers who were on the scene said otherwise. Listen to the comparison of their statements here.
First saw her, did you notice any marks on her face?
Yes.
Describe the marks.
To be very honest with you, I don't actually remember which side of her face it was, but I do distinctly remember there being a red mark and a small bruise on her cheekbone, and red marks just above her eyebrow and to the right side, or to the side of her eyebrow.
And did you determine that she sustained any injuries?
I determined that she did not sustain any injuries.
So at any point in time during the incident, during the date of the incident, did she complain of any injuries?
She did not.
Do you see anything in disarray?
I did not.
Hear or see anything that made you think an act of domestic violence had occurred?
I did not.
The two LAPD officers repeatedly said that Amber was not injured when they saw her face to face, and nothing in the place gave away that an attack of any kind took place. It's pretty clear that either Josh or the officers are lying, and at the end of the day, they will be caught one way or another. So far, fans are saying that Amber's witnesses are nothing but liars and that they should be punished for enabling her to create this makeup scenario against Johnny. How about you? Is the body cam footage enough to uncover Amber's lies, or is it too early to assume? Let us know in the comments below.